What's your story, honey? Come tell it on Kitty Pink Radio, where black media matters.
Hell yeah, KB.
You can hear the crowd sing along. Everybody know my songs. Had the crowd learn to walk. Country girl, small town. 14 years dedicated. Look, ma, I finally made it. Never thought I'd ever say it, but today I live my dream. Bodyguards protecting me. Crazy fans, loud screaming, flashing lights on every scene. Autographs, lots of pictures, signs that say we love you, kitty. Superstar, my new status, fantasizing. Please don't wake me, let me finish with this dream. Don't wake me up. What's up, what's up, what's up? What you got off in your cups? Y'all know it's none other than your auntie Kitty. We're back for another epic episode of Locked and Loaded. It is another Tuesday, another 6 p.m., 6:13-ish p.m., but you know, y'all gonna catch it whether I'm here late or whether I'm early. So shout out to everybody out there that's catching the show. If you don't mind, I'm asking everyone to please share.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand. That's why I'm not famous.
Before April came, everybody knows that I was doing my Autism Speaks series for the whole month of April. I promised you all that we would get back to you with Marlo Hampton, who is Tanaya's mom. She is the young lady back in March who was found in a bathroom unconscious. And the school had no explanation for what was going on with this young lady. For those of you who didn't, I'm going to give y'all a little refresher. 1 second.
Harris. This is my son, Reginald Johnson, and this is I'm sorry that I'm even having to get on here and go through this and even have to even say the things that we're gonna be saying tonight. It's been a very hard ride, I would say, because that's pretty much what we're being taken on or experienced, because we're having a very hard time. This incident happened at DeSoto High School on March 4th, 2022, during the time of the false fire drill that was basically done on this morning.
Okay, my question is, what time did your baby get there? Kind of give us a walk.
Okay,
did she ride the bus? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I took her to school that morning. Her and her sister. She has an older sister that also attends DeSoto High School, who's a senior there. She's a freshman. I dropped my girls out between about 7:30, somewhere in there, maybe between 7:40. I'll give it 7:40, but it was right at the time that school would have started. So I dropped them out on the side, right up where the buses enter in. So on the freshman side. So that's where I dropped them out at, and I just went on home. About 9:55, I started receiving a message. I received a text message from my youngest daughter's phone. Her name is Tanaya Harris. I received a text message from her phone. I looked at the text message and I thought, I was like, this is not something that my daughter, it just seemed weird. It was a weird message. Though it wasn't bad or negative, I just could tell that it wasn't something that my daughter would normally do. So as a mother, we know our children. So I was like, I just kind of thought about it and I was like, okay. And I went on. So about 10:39, I get a phone call from DeSoto High School. It's the school nurse there, and she asked me if I was the mother of Tanaya Harris, and I told her yes. But when she said it, she was very aggressive. It wasn't like, ma'am,
What is going on? Oh no, wait a minute. Okay. Wow. That is so crazy to me. That is so crazy to me. Something weird just happened, y'all. My apologies. Um, we have Marlo Hampton as well as her son in the building with us. Marlo Harris. I don't know why I keep mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry. We have them in the building. We're going to get back into this story. She is going to be updating us on what has transpired since this incident occurred. Hello there.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing good. Ain't that weird how that just happened right when you was getting ready to tell the story? That's funny.
You know how they do.
Uh-huh. But ain't nothing ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. Can't stop, won't stop. How y'all doing?
All right, doing all right. How you doing? Thank you.
Doing good. How is Anaya? I mean Tanaya.
Uh, she doing. She
Gotcha.
she doing.
Has she remembered anything?
She hasn't remembered anything as far as what happened on that day, but there are other things that has come to her memory that have came to light. So that we are aware of. Yeah. As far the what she was given makes you lose memory. So her
Mm,
memory moving forward, her memory is not very good now.
wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, kind of give us an update as to what's been going on since you guys last visited my show.
Well, since the last time we were on here, we've been going through back and forth with DeSoto ISD as well as the DeSoto Police Department trying to get this even investigated. They did a grievance. We had to file a grievance, and that is Monica Smith, which is the principal over at DeSoto High School, the main principal.
Okay.
Um,
Um, Let me stop you right here, Marlo. Can you give us just a brief recap? Um, Cree was one of the people that was present, but give us a brief recap, just a little short as to what happened, because as y'all see, my computer went out as you were getting ready to give the recap. That's why I wanted to play the video, but we're gonna get through it. Kind of give us a recap, a short recap.
4th, the video from March 4th.
Yeah, but she probably
Anyway, so what happened was March 4th, I received a phone call. After receiving several texts from my daughter's phone that were very strange, I received a phone call from DeSoto ISD. This was close to about 10:40, no later than maybe, I guess, about 10:45, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was close to 40. But anyway, I received a call from the school nurse, which I found that her name is Miss Aldrich.
Mm-hmm.
She told me when I answered the phone, she said in a very like aggressive way, "Are you the parent of Tanaya Harris?" And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I thought that was kind of weird, but I was like, "Yes, I am." And she said, "Well, you need to get down here because she's been found upstairs in a locked bathroom laid out." And I said, "What do you mean laid out?" She says, she said laid out. She said, "You just need to get down here. She was made to take something." And I said, "What do you mean she was made to take something?" She said, "You just get halfway there." Called me back again. She asked me, was I coming? And I told her, yes, I'm almost there. I got there. I went into the office. I seen a lady sitting there, a light-skinned lady that worked at the desk at the front. She knows my daughter Tanaya very well. She always gives good compliments on Tanaya and how much she loved Tanaya and everything, and her personality and how sweet she is and everything. So I figured maybe she probably knew something. So I went to her first. She didn't know. So over to my left was the teacher, Miss Miari. She was standing in the door. Ninth, the ninth grade principal there. So that's who Miss Miari is. Anyway, she's standing in the door with two girls, and they're standing in the door talking. She heard me talk. Says, "Are you Tanaya's mother?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Come over here with me." And so I go. She said, "Oh, she okay. She okay. She okay. She okay." Sit in her office. It's a girl sitting.
Hey, Marlo, every other word of yours is cutting out.
Oh wow. Are you able to hear me better now?
hold on.
Are you able to hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. I repeat it. So anyway, I got halfway to the school. When I got halfway to the school, I went inside the office. There was a light skinned lady with green eyes sitting there. She's I believe she's a teacher. I'm not sure, but I know she was sitting at the front desk. I've seen her there before because she's always giving me compliments on my daughter Tanaya, and how much she loves her and how sweet she is and everything. And so I figured she knew something. She didn't. So I looked to the left because the Miss Miari was standing in the doorway with some girls talking to them. She overheard me talking to the lady at the front desk, and she said, "Are you Tanaya's mother?" And I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "Come over here with me." She said, "She okay? She okay? Oh, she okay?" So I go in her office. It's a girl sitting down, African American girl sitting down. She's sitting there writing out a statement. So I knew something was really wrong to see that. So I'm sitting down. I sit down at the desk, and she's standing behind the desk, Miss Miari, and she says, "Your daughter is okay. She's okay." She says she was set up to take something, to inhale something. She was set up to inhale something. I said, "What do you mean she was set up to inhale?" Said, "All I know right now, I'll call you back later on this evening once I know more information." She ushered me toward going to the nurse's office where my daughter was supposed to be. We go inside the nurse's office. The nurse is sitting over to my right. She's sitting on something like a couch or a chair, if I remember correctly. She's sitting down. Never said not one or two words to me the entire time that I was there. My daughter Tanaya was sitting down on a couch as well across from her, and she had her phone sitting up to her ear like this, and she was on the phone with her dad, but she was not talking. She was completely out of it. Her head was held down. She was completely out of it. So I knew something was wrong. So I said, "Tanaya, come on, just sat there." So I had to help her get up. She got up, and I was asking Miss Miari if she had the superintendent's phone number. She told me that she didn't. She promised that she didn't have the number once we got back into her office. But anyway, as I was standing there talking to her, she said she didn't have the superintendent's number. So we went on back to her office. Got in the office. She gave me a number to someone else, and I told her, I said, "You sure you don't have the superintendent's phone number?" She said, "No, I promise, I don't have the phone number." Now I'm standing inside the little lobby area where, like I said, where I entered in at first. Right across from me is the girl who was writing the statement. Her name is Alexis. She's sitting across from me, and she's my daughter Tanaya is sitting on the side to the right of me now, and she's not saying anything. She's completely out of it. Alexis asked her, "Tanaya, are you okay?" Tanaya never responded to her because, like I said, she was out of it. So I got the information. At this time I was already filming on Facebook, so it is a Facebook live video of the exact thing that happened. And I went on to my car. I was upset because they did not call 911 for her with her being found supposedly unconscious in this locked bathroom. Now, my thing is, if she could get out, why are y'all telling me that she was locked inside? Anyway, so I left there. I got on the phone with her best friend's mom and dad. They went to the superintendent's office on our behalf to speak to the superintendent. He stated that by Tuesday he will have things taken care of, which never took place. Anyway, so I went straight from the school to the Parkland Clinic under the recommendations of her best friend's mom. She told me that that was the closest place to go because I did not want to go to Methodist. I had bad experiences at Methodist Hospital, so I didn't want to go there. So we went to the Parkland Clinic. I got her in there. She was put into a wheelchair. She was placed into a wheelchair. She was acting very, 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 very strange. And even the nurse there that tended to her was an African American nurse that was there tending to her. She also could see that something was not quite right. She said, if she needs to be flushed, you have to take her to a hospital because we can't do that here. We're just a clinic. So we're not a hospital. We can't flush her if she needs to be flushed. So I said, okay. So she said, I'll sit here with her. I'll stand here with her until you go get your car. I go to get my vehicle. By the time I pulled back up in front of the hospital, she ran outside. She said, "I'm calling 911 for her." She said, "That's something that they should have did. And I'm very angry and upset because they didn't, because I used to be a school nurse and the protocol is to call 911 in situations like this. And they should have called 911. She said, "I'm calling 911 right now to have her transported to the hospital." She says, "You can just stay here and for the ambulance." So I parked my car, Went back inside and I stood next to the nurse while my daughter was in this wheelchair. She was completely out of her mind. She was not acting anything like somebody who was in their right mind, or somebody
Coherent.
or alert, or they could tell you
Right.
about what happened to them, why it happened, where it was, who did it. None of that. She was completely out. Her consciousness was completely altered. Her dad and her brother came with us as well. We waited for the ambulance. I rode in the back of the ambulance with my daughter. We rode to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, even the EMT that was there attending to her told me himself that something was not right, in his own words. But he did say to me basically pretty much that she was not in her, that her conscience was altered. He could see that. Anyway, so when we got there, they took her in. They looked after her and treated her. They came and they asked us questions about what we knew, and I told them that we didn't know anything. That the school at that time had not told us anything, so we didn't know what took place. Later on, probably after about 6, maybe somewhere in there, Miss Miari contacted me. She told me that she had got word that there was a boy involved who was in 11th grade. His name supposedly was Joshua Moore, but now they're stating that he was not even in the bathroom. At first, he was.
Hold on real quick. Hold on. I think you done shared the link to the wrong people. There's a young lady behind stage. Ma'am, can you share the one that's on your page, not the one that I inboxed you, because they're coming into our broadcast.
Okay, so share the what?
Share what's on my page. Don't share the link that I sent you in the email.
All right, just a moment. Let me go through that. I'm sorry. I thought that was the one I was sharing. Let me see.
I'm gonna hop in real quick, so she can give us an update as well. Basically, what happened is nobody could explain at DeSoto ISD what happened to Tanaya. There have been several stories. There have been rumors. It was maybe a day old after Marlo. It may have been actually it was a week old when Marlo and I got in contact with each other and we held a conversation about her sharing her story. What y'all can do is y'all can go back and y'all can watch that episode. It's Locked and Loaded. It has the exact same caption that this one has. We good now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. So basically, the questions that I've been asked, a lot of you have inboxed me asking me about this. A lot of you have been wanting an update. And the first question that was asked was, if you're comfortable answering these questions, if you're not, just let me know and we can go past them. The first question was, did Tanaya end up getting a what's the kit called?
Same kit. Yeah, she
Yes.
after 11 days I was finally able to get a same kit for her. But even that is faulty. And I can go into that a little bit later, but even that's been faulty. Yes.
Okay. And another question was, what has DeSoto ISD? What have they given you? What information have they been giving you?
Well, okay, so we went through the grievance phase of the suppose I had to file a grievance. I actually had submitted board members first. By mistake. I didn't know, because again, I've never been through anything like this ever in my whole life, and I've had several kids in school. They said that they sent me the grievance information through my email. I filled the grievance information out, the form, and submitted it back. I think it was around April 11th. I actually had a meeting up at the school to supposedly, quote unquote, see the video footage. But again, I never did get to see that. When I got up there, Larry Lewis stated that I could not see the footage because I had filed a grievance. So since I had to file a grievance, no video footage. Due to supposedly, I believe it was the FERPA, FERPA laws, I'm not able to see certain things at the time that I'm under a grievance. When you're under grievance, no video footage, nothing like that. You can't see anything. They won't show you anything.
Will
So
you that's counted out completely though at this time? You even after the grievance, you won't be able to see any video footage?
supposedly I'm able to, but I have to schedule a time to go up there to see it, which doesn't make sense to me because yeah, I've been asking to see it since March 4th. They don't have it. Really, to be honest, they don't really have it. The only footage that I was told that they did have, and that I was told at that time was the video footage of her coming out of the second bathroom, and they said they supposedly may have had one of her going in, but not one of her coming out of the first bathroom.
Okay. I would like for you to disclose, if you're comfortable with that. I know we did before, but some things are sensitive. Disclose what was found in Tanaya's system.
The first day that we took her was March 4th when they first did the urine analysis. The medical records state that she was presumptive positive for marijuana, for cannabis.
Okay.
And if I don't know if y'all know what presumptive positive, when you presume something, what are you doing when you presume something? Yeah. So we looked up the definition of presumptive positive. Can you pull that up? My son is going to pull up presumptive positive so that way we can get an understanding of what that actually means.
Okay.
The grievance was supposed to be in order for it to be investigated, I had to file a grievance, bring my grievance before the school because it happened on school campus. Supposedly this was their processes. Now, when you file the grievance, you inside the grievance form, it asks what happened on what do I think happened. It also asks how has this impacted me.
Do you mind telling us what you answered?
Yes, yes, on there I stated that we were not certain about what took place. So we don't know. We do feel like she's been possibly sexually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely can believe that she's been drugged.
Mm-hmm.
So these were my grievances.
Okay.
Also, she's had a lot of bad experiences since this has happened. She's experienced nosebleeds, headaches, body aches, which she still does have right now to this very day. They have not went away. She has severe depression, and she's under the care of a psychiatrist at this time.
Okay. Some of those symptoms are caused by what, if you don't mind answering that?
Yes, ma'am. Those symptoms are caused by the so-called, I would say, drug that was put into her system. And it was unwillingly. It was not something that she consensually took. It was definitely given to her will. And this was confirmed to me through medical findings as well as the medical physicians.
Right.
Are we going with presumptive positive?
A presumptive positive result for any of the tested drugs indicate the possible presence of the drug or metabolites in the urine, but does not measure the level of intoxication. And then this is from Quest Diagnostics, the drug testing facility. There are two types of drug testing: presumptive and definite. Presumptive identifies possible use or non-use of drug classes and includes point of care and laboratory immunoassay methods. Results are reported qualitatively, negative or positive, and does not identify drug/metabolites.
So basically what that basically means for anyone who doesn't fully understand what a presumptive positive would be, and I'm not a medical doctor by far or anything, but I just use common sense when I'm reading and comprehension. And this is very clear, basically saying that she had that in her system, but not enough for her to be intoxicated, which was why it wasn't a full positive. See, the rest of her results said negative. This said presumptive positive. It didn't say positive, presumptive positive. So that basically means that it wasn't enough THC in her system for her to even be intoxicated. How is that?
Did they find anything besides
No,
that?
ma'am. No, ma'am. That was the first day.
Whatever was given to her it has a short shelf life as far as how long it stays in your system, and that's what most any prescription pills, narcotics, things of that nature, they don't stay in your system as long because if you're taking it in a pill form, it dissolves. Compared
Mhm.
to cannabis, you ignite it, whether that be through like a blunt or a bong or whatever preference people use. It's ignited, so it stays in your system longer. A lot of people don't know that THC sticks to the fat glands in your body,
Mhm.
which is why a lot of people tend to fail drug tests when they use marijuana. They may stop, but the THC is still in their glands, in the fat gland.
Okay.
Uh,
Gotcha.
the positive test on the 4th of March when all this occurred. We took her back to the emergency room the following Sunday on the 6th.
This was hold up. This was after she had another episode like she did on March 4th. She had
Okay.
another episode where she couldn't breathe. Her eyes was just going from all over the place. She was completely out of her mind. She was basically in a manic state. That's basically a mild way I could put it. She looked like she was in maybe a manic state, possibly.
Mhm.
Basically out of her mind. And her conscience, you could clearly see her conscience had been altered. And when the ambulance came here and they checked her out, they could see it too, which was why she was transported on to the hospital, to Children's Medical Center. I took her to a different one this time, Children's Medical Center. So it's two separate hospitals, right? So that means there's two separate diagnoses, people. So that's two separate hospitals. Okay. So on the second time around, when we went on March 6th, I'll let Reggie go ahead and finish telling you. I just wanted to throw that in so y'all can get that understanding.
When they ran the urine analysis on her the second time around, which would have been roughly 48 hours later, her system was completely clean. Now, if she had been consuming this THC wax pen, and now what they're trying to include is stating that she took
Two
edibles,
of them, two edibles.
the THC would still be in her system. I don't matter. It doesn't matter if you have like 0% body fat. It's just not scientifically possible to consume that much cannabis and for it
Right.
the system for a certain amount of time.
And
Yeah,
and just for clarification, Tanaya is how tall and how much does she weigh?
Tanaya I'm 5'2". She's about 5'3", maybe about 5'3".
Okay.
She's a
About
little taller than me. I'm
about
gonna
how
go.
much she weigh?
She's smaller than me. So I'm wearing a medium. She wears a small. So I'm
Okay.
50. So I'm going to go with 130,
Okay.
125 maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And they anyway on the first day that we were there, Miss Miari called me, like I said, after 6, and she told me that she had found out supposedly that there was a vape pen involved.
Mhm.
Pen. Supposedly she had took 3 to 4 puffs of this THC wax vape pen. Now this is the one on it first. About 2 to 3 weeks later is when the two edibles got put into the situation, and now they're saying that she took 3 to 4 puffs of a THC wax vape pen and she ate 2 edibles.
Okay. Have they been able to prove any of these rumors?
No,
Okay.
no, no. And on the second day when we took her back, there were several different doctors that came in to see my daughter, and they were all like baffled. And they kept asking me different questions. Did I have any kind of medications in my house and stuff like that? If anybody knows me, they know how I run my house. We're natural around here. We don't
Right.
kind of prescription drugs. You're not gonna find none of that nowhere in my house. Period.
Right.
Nobody in here is on any type of medications. We don't have any type of medications here. None. My kids barely even get sick.
Right.
Barely.
Gotcha.
Only thing I have is epilepsy, which they tried to use against my daughter in this situation by saying that she was telling them that I was gonna be disappointed in her, and
Mhm.
that and that's probably psychology that they could have used while she was under the influence. I'm just gonna put it out there. They used that psychology up while she was under the influence of this whatever it was that she was given, because my daughter don't even get in trouble
Okay.
at all. and never has really at any school that she's even been to. Every school she go to, the teachers love her. She's always gotten good things. She's even played piano in events and things at DeSoto
Right.
because I was involved with them doing these things at one point. And okay. Anyway, so that's it was it just makes any it makes any.
Yeah, you could not again, Mama.
Okay. Can y'all hear me better now? I'm sorry.
Yes. So um exactly how much has changed since all of this has happened from the day they found her in the bathroom, um, up after the grievance, um, after we've been to the doctor. Also, if you don't mind disclosing,
Mhm.
tell us what happened with the toolkit.
Okay. Hold on just 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Thank you all for tuning in. If you all don't mind, please share. Of course, I'm gonna edit this later, um, so that y'all can get all of it. I would like to do. One thing that I wanted to make clear is that her story has been the same from beginning to end. We're recapping all the way from March, and this is the same story. I just wanted to put that out there. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. We're trying to get this phone so it won't go dead. Let's unplug one of them lights. That's okay. Just move over.
For those of you who are just tuning in, we are getting an update from Marlo Harris and her son, about the little girl that was found in the bathroom at DeSoto ISD. Um, we brought this story to y'all around March this year. And of course, April came and we had Autism Awareness Month, but I still promise you guys an update. Some of you have written in with questions and concerns, just wondering, sending your loves and hugs to the Harris family. And Marla wanted to come back and give you guys an exclusive update. And we ready?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so
Okay.
it filed the grievance. I had the meeting with Monica Smith. It lasted maybe about 30 minutes, not very long. At the end of the meeting, there was a attorney on there. And I didn't know that she was on there. She claimed that she came in after the.
You could not bad again, Mama.
You are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
It's just close. Okay.
To speak loud.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. We got a lot going on. We're not very tech savvy. I'm not even. Anyway, so I was stating that we had the grievance meeting with I had the grievance meeting with Monica Smith, and I told her that the information that I was told is not added to what's going on with this situation. See, what all was I told? And I told her, I said, which version? Because I've been told several different versions of what's going on here. And so she said, just tell who told me what and who, and I did. And so now supposedly they're saying that it's not enough evidence to prove that she was not forced to take a vape pen. They're still on the same situation with this vape pen, but what they're not grasping is he never even puffed from the vape pen, according to what the doctors told us. I
Mm-hmm.
the doctor on the second day, again, we went to a separate house, not the house we went to. I, and it happened. I said, was it a vape pen? Was it a vape pen? Again, he didn't know. He wasn't, he this a whole separate doctor. So he didn't have a reason to lie to me. He told me, he said no, it wasn't a vape pen.
Okay.
Hey, well, what about edibles? Could have been edibles. He said no, not edibles. He said now edibles could cause euphoria and things like that. He said, but this was not an edible. I said, okay, so what was it? He told me, have you ever heard of a roofie? What about a Molly or a Wolfie? I said, I've heard of a Molly. He said her system being clean is proof that she was drugged.
Oh wow.
Now, why would I continue to believe a vape pen story and even an edible story? The man stood in front of me and told me that none of that was valid. Now, why would I go off and believe a facade?
Have you brought that information to the school?
I did. I didn't actually reveal that portion of it, but I did let them
Okay.
know medical findings were not matching up to what they were stating because I wanted
Okay.
to go and do an investigation, and
Okay.
they didn't do one. This that they gave me is not a that's not a investigation. So that's just
What exactly are they saying on those papers? It every time you move, the microphone kind of mess up. So kind of try to be still a little bit.
right. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So it's basically saying in this it's saying it's a 7-page report. This is supposed to be the final investigation that they came up with. Supposedly inside here, they're stating that it says here, after reviewing the evidence, the investigation revealed there is insufficient evidence to support that TH was forced to use the vape pen or any, nor that she was physically harmed by anyone on the day in question.
Okay. And they concluded that from
From nothing, because there's no investigation. How do you first off, number one, there was no vape pen involved. I've already stated that it's not medical record, so I was take a y'all are putting that in there. Nobody even said anything about her being forced to take a vape pen. As far as how this was administered to her, the doctor told me how it was given to her, and she didn't consume it through her mouth. So a vape pen and an edible is completely washed out. That's out of the picture, period. So we know that investigation for them to come back and tell me that she was supposed to take a vape pen, says, or any other stuff, or that she was physically harmed by anyone on the day in question. It says, however, there is evidence to support a lack of supervision during TA's first period ROTC class, and that a hall monitor failed to ensure our students had exited the DLC prior to locking it. As a result of its findings, this report includes recommendations and a further investigation distribution at the district. And this is my thing. And also, in 5 people involved, but yet the boy who supposedly tried.
you, mama, you still. This is bad. We ain't catching none of this.
Oh my God.
You got it down?
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, hold your hand away from the microphone. We heard enough for you to continue.
Okay, what about now?
Yes.
Okay, I was saying that in this report it's stating that there were 5 people inside this restroom, but yet the boy who is supposed to be in the 11th grade, he was removed from the report. So who is this 5th person?
Right.
Y'all only telling me that it's 3 girls, and inside this report it says that they have the first girl's statement we haven't even, I can't even tell you who these other two girls was. I've never even heard of who they was, what they look like. Where's their statement? I'm sure y'all probably will create one, but yeah, they only had one statement even in this final report.
So one statement mean there was only one person there, right?
Yeah, where are the other three people besides my daughter?
Right. Right.
They said it was no male presence, but at first I was told that it was a male presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also in here, they're saying that she could get out of the second bathroom, but if she could get out, then why is it an issue with the security guard locking the bathroom? Why did y'all tell me she was locked inside if she could get out on her own? So
Right.
that it's still faulty going on. There really was no investigation done. They pretty much all just got together and came up with, what did you tell her and what did you tell her, and then they just put it in this report to get me to shut up.
So unfortunately, we are at ground zero still.
Yeah, we're still at the same spot we were on March 4th. Nothing has changed. My daughter is gonna have to go to online school some kind of way. I'm gonna have to put her in an online school. She probably gonna fail 9th grade. They never got her work. They lied and told me that they would. They didn't. Supposedly they excused her absences all the way up until May 5th. Anything after that, it's gonna be truancy.
Oh my God.
Yes. Now, how you gonna make a child who's been traumatized force this child to go back to school? But this is the laws we have to abide by as parents. You're right. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting my child in no more situations where she can be in a state where she is like this now. And I'm sure not sending her back now with all this happening. No, ma'am.
Right. One of the
Never got tested.
None of the other kids got tested.
No. The only person who got tested was my daughter. And she was the only one who had these symptoms. The girl Alexis on my video that you guys seen March 4th of the day that I went up there, you clearly seen Alexis. And she was just fine. Nothing was wrong with her. Nothing happened to her. And if they all was puffing on supposedly the same vape pen, why none of them had reactions? Yeah, and some of this was going on in the classroom, you guys. From what I was told in my report, this was taking place in the classroom. It started all inside the classroom. So it was going from the classroom back until the bathroom, supposedly. Now, where was her teacher?
That's definitely something that we've discussed after this situation. I discussed that with 4-5. He was supposed to be here with me today. But we discussed that a lot of issues are because of neglect. I know I don't like referring to that day because it was a very tragic day for me, even though not my baby wasn't there. But even on that day, there was neglect when that boy went in there and shot up that school. They say a teacher propped the door open.
Exactly.
So there's another lady who says that her baby, his fingers were broken. There are a lot of things that are coming forth that could prove neglect, and we all know that that's going to be on their behalf, and they don't want to take accountability for that. So that may be a big part as to why they're not complying when it comes to Tania's situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yes, I agree. But none of those children were ever tested. They went right on back to school the next day and still continue to live their lives. Now, if these children had a THC wax vape pen, no repercussions. Y'all tell me y'all have a felony substance running around up in here. Nobody is getting in trouble. Dogs. The police wasn't called in to search for the vape pen, and no or nothing. Now, supposedly inside this final report, they stated that some edibles were purchased, but they can't confirm that. So that's hearsay.
Right.
Yes, that's hearsay. So y'all have a bunch of hearsay basically going on here. And I completely agree. All the children should have been tested, but none of Alexis was not in the state of mind that my daughter was in at all. Period. In no kind of way. They also stated that there was selfies. Two selfies, but in these selfies you can clearly see that they're not selfies. You clearly can see that they're not, clearly. And one of them is a picture of the children from their shoulders down to their feet. Who takes a selfie like that?
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end of our time. My question is do you have any idea as to which direction we go from here?
I'm gonna keep on fighting. I'm not giving up. And
Right,
the next step is to just keep moving forward.
right. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about with just like moving forward my life. The next is to move forward to the next stage.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
Also, there were some protests. There was an attempted protest, right?
yes, ma'am. There was an attempted protest. The children, even all the children in school pretty much know my daughter, and they were very upset because in a sense they pretty much know what took her. But due to retaliation, children, they were not able to do the protest. The children were threatened that they were going to be shot with rubber bullets by the police officers and security guards inside of the school. They were not allowed outside of the school. Any athletes on the team that tried to participate in the protest were threatened with their scholarships as well as their positions in athletics.
Which is extortion.
Which we know, yeah, which is what? Say it again, son.
Extortion.
Yeah. And so we did get video footage of these children stating this on their own. This is not something that I made up. These children stated this on their own, that this is what they were being told behind the closed doors. So the children got afraid and they did not protest. They were told that if they walked out, if they tried to do anything, that they would be retaliated against. There was a week after, there was a girl that was found laid out, just like my
Right.
daughter. Supposedly she had been raped. That was recorded supposedly by other people. Also, a principal was jumped. It was a lot of things going on with that. A lot of kids were injured and things during this situation because the police officers there were very brutal with those children. And I don't care if they know, I know that. Right now, yes, she did get the same kit. I did take her to get that done. Supposedly, the clothes that I did turn in for her have been misplaced.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's what I was trying to get when I asked you what were the results with the kit. I don't even like calling it that.
yeah.
Um,
Supposedly, they haven't really even told me really majorly anything. The police officer that's working, the detective that's working on her file. He was supposed to call me back. I haven't heard back from him. I'm sure after this he'll probably try to call me back. Usually that's when they get in touch with me after I go public about this and tell the truth on them. Then they give me a call and they try to do a little bit. Also, my oldest daughter, she was robbed of her graduation due to this. She was supposed to graduate and walk with her class. They robbed her of that. So she did not get to walk with her class. So I don't have just one child over here suffering. I actually have
you
two.
have two. This has affected your entire family.
Whole family.
This has affected everyone.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
Cree Webb is a dear friend of mine. She requested that you send her a friend request. Um,
Okay.
I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Okay.
Latasha Wu, there's a lot of things that are going on in the school, and I believe that the biggest issue is neglect. Those teachers don't take their jobs very seriously at all, and they're not doing everything to protect our babies when we leave them in their care. And that is why I am bringing forth all these stories. Hopefully, a young lady is supposed to be contacting me to tell me her story. DeSoto ISD, another one from there. USAM Mesquite ISD. The biggest thing, y'all know I was really, really hurt by the shooting. And I know that, I keep bringing this up in the wake of what we're talking about, but it's very similar. It has a
Yes.
lot to do with these teachers neglecting our children. And if we're going to trust them with our babies, we need some type of action, and we need it to take place right now. There is absolutely no reason our babies should be going to school and
And,
waking up to a freaking nightmare.
and
There
it's
is
more
no reason.
that the people that they hire in these schools are completely unqualified to be around kids. And that just because you have a clean background don't mean you qualified to be around kids. We can see that just
Right.
what happened with Uvalde. If you have a teacher propping the door open so a terrorist can walk in with two AR-15s and kill children, like you're not qualified to be in that position. If you're an
Most
officer
definitely.
and you're haggling parents concerned about their children instead of going and doing your job, you're not qualified to be around children. I think
Absolutely.
that's the deeper issue going forward that people can address, because not everybody has the same experience we have. It could be different, such as Uvalde and other situations as well. We just have to be better about who we allow to be around our kids, and it's gonna have to be more than just talking on social media. And I appreciate you giving us an opportunity and using
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
has to go. It has to go further than that.
It
And
definitely does.
I'm gonna just say it: if you waiting every 2 to 4 years to go out and vote, and once you put your name, your ballot box in, you think your job is done. That's not true, because this idea that we just live in this perfect democracy is a lie. The people who get things done, the people who put resources and they're organized, and that's the only way you're gonna get a politician, a public official, somebody who's affiliated with the state or the United States government to do anything. If and you can see it just I keep going back to Valde, but look at how these politicians are responding. They don't want to acknowledge that they messed up because they have people who support their campaigns and help them keep their seats that they can't go against.
Right.
We have to start being more organized as the people, especially as Black people. You need to find people who like-minded with you, have those similar values, and want the same thing. You have to be organized. We're gonna have to crowdfund with resources and things of that nature. We need to bring it to somebody or people who can help get our needs addressed, because every 2 to 4 years we hear the same tired topics about gun control and same-sex marriage and immigration and things of that nature. Not to say that those aren't important issues in our community, but those are just hot talking points.
Yeah.
Like when election cycles are over, nothing really gets done, and then we have situations like ours. You have situations like what happened to those kids down in Uvalde, and the people, and more importantly, the kids are the only ones who are really losing out in
Yeah.
all of.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I thank y'all for sitting down and trusting me with to trusting me to get your story out there. Thank y'all. We gonna stay on top of this. Can't stop, won't stop, and
Not
that's
at
just
all.
what that is.
Not at
Once
all.
ag- once again, it's another Tuesday, another 6 p.m. You've just watched another episode of Locked and Loaded, y'all. Let's make a change around here. I love you. I want you to love
Yeah.
yourselves. I'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.